7 games kicking off simultaneously, 14 teams, just 2 of which go into the final round of the league phase with nothing to play for. It's an afternoon when reputations and jobs are on the line, a day when the top 14 is in a league of its own. Well, good afternoon, we're at the Stade des Vallons, home of the 19-time French champions Toulouse, and they're in the running for a 20th. The visitors are Bordeaux Begles. Well, here are the 7 matches, 3 of which have a huge bearing on the fight to stay in the top 14. Grenoble need just 1 point at Lyon to ensure they stay in the top flight. Afternoons like this are virtually an annual event at Brive and Bayonne. Both desperately need to win their games against Stade Francais and La Rochelle. Elsewhere, nothing less than 5 points will be enough for Montpellier at home to Clermont. Defending champions Toulon take on Oyonnax, while Castres, having performed a Houdini-style escape routine, can relax. They're safe and are at Racing, who can't afford to fluff their lines. So this is how things stand going into the final day. Toulon and Clermont, first and second. The top 2 finishers go straight to a semi-final weekend in Bordeaux in a fortnight. Stade Francais and Toulouse are next. As things stand, they're in position to host home barrage ties next weekend against the sides in 5th and 6th. Whoever ends up 7th misses out on the top 14 playoffs, but will head to either England or Ireland for the Champions Cup playoff. More of that as the afternoon progresses. I'll keep you fully informed of what is happening around the grounds. For now, though, let's focus on events here in the Ville Rose, where Toulouse coach Guy Novès is concerned. It's a starting 15 which suggests he's preparing himself for another match here in a week's time. Among those being rested, Toby Flood and Maxime Médard, though it is with the exception of Yoann Maestri for Joe Takori, the same pack which helped put 53 points on Brive a fortnight ago. Jean-Marc Toussaint has recovered from the thigh injury, which has kept him out for a month. He partners Sébastien Bazy at half-back. Bordeaux Begles have had a largely injury-free week, though the South African fullback Ulrich Beyers is missing, having been a bit under the weather. Even so, this is just about the most exciting back 3 in European rugby. Sofiane Guitoun, a wing for France, slots in at fullback alongside the 2 wings Blair Connor and Matuasela Talabula, who have 19 top 14 tries between them this season. One Toulouse old boy, Pierre Bernard, is preferred to another, Lionel Beauxis at fly half. So this is the scene. Haney Adams there, the scrum half today, prepared to Yann Lesgard. We just caught a glimpse there of Marco Talen, and Jean-Baptiste Poux, a French champion with Toulouse, returns home. And can he upset Guy Novès? And a very interesting subplot here, of course. Guy Novès up against Rafa Ibanez, 2 men who would be the new France coaches. There is the France captain, Thierry Dusautoir. Well, it promises to be quite a 2 hours. I'm Martin Gillingham, alongside me is Dowie Morris. Well, this is where the top 14, I won't say unique, but certainly very, very special indeed.
I think it is, especially with having 2 teams relegated. Lyon obviously being one of those, was it last week? And there's still plenty to play for. You mentioned it, 12 out of the 14 teams have 12 out of the 14 teams have something to play for today. Bordeaux particularly, I think Racing will beat Castres. That will put Racing above Bordeaux. Then Bordeaux simply have to beat the Galacticos of Toulouse. Not an easy ask though, is it?
No, just to bring you up to date with what else is going on at the bottom end of the table. The nerves really will be jangling at Brive and Bayonne. If Bayonne lose today and pick up nothing, then it's simple. They join Lyon in dropping down to Pro de Deux. If, however, Bayonne pick up anything against La Rochelle, it piles the pressure on Brive. When teams finish level on points in France, and this is a point worth noting from top to bottom, it's the head-to-head record between the teams involved which determines who finishes ahead of the other. And in the case of Bayonne and Brive, it's Bayonne who hold the advantage. So we'll be bringing you up to date on the news from around the grounds. All 7 matches kicking off simultaneously. There's the referee for our affair, Alexander Ruiz, who's been away on World Rugby Sevens duty over the course of the last couple of weeks in Glasgow and in London. What a cracking semi-final it was in the Pro 12 last night. up at Scotstoun. And in terms of excitement, expect the same, if not more, in France over the next couple of hours. There's Jean-Marc Toussaint, away after a period of injury. And I do wonder, having seen Toby Flood in action, and we saw him play against Grenoble a week ago, perhaps this is a ploy here from Guy Novès to consider that maybe, Dowie, Toussaint might be the answer for the playoffs at fly half.
I think he will be, personally. I watched Toby Flood play last week. I mean, they had, what, 5 victories up until that point and lost with all the possession, but they couldn't control the ball. They controlled the game in a sense, but actually just couldn't convert all the chances they had. So they lost it. And Toby Flood, for me, looks a little bit lost when the game goes unstructured. So I think Toussaint is more attuned to the offload and the jouet that Toulouse like to play. But again, it'll be up to Guy Novès. I'm sure that man there wants a win today, because they have been down as far as 9th. Bordeaux, but again, they've had a tremendous run of late and won the last, was it 3 games or 4, with that 38-20 victory last week, and the bonus point, and that could come into it as well. Wouldn't it? All these rounds, 3 tries or more, and stay within 5 at the end, you get a bonus point, a winning bonus point or a losing bonus point. Worth
noting that for a few hours on October the 4th, Toulouse were bottom of the top 14 table. Sebastian Bézy puts in. Sebastian Bézy at scrum half, his brother Nicolas, who these days is on the staff at Brive, though not playing today. Nicolas, he started the top 14 semi-final at scrum half for Toulouse. That's 4 or 5 years ago now. So this will be interesting. The first set piece of the afternoon. That Toulouse front row perhaps beginning to creak a little bit with age. Guthrie Steenkamp 33, Corey Flynn 34, Census Johnson 34. One or two question marks about that part of the Toulouse game throughout the season, but there's nothing wrong with that. Control of the base by Galland. There's McAllister in the centre today. Vincent Clair coming off the wing. The ball's been lost forward.
And again, both these sides like to keep the ball in the hand. I think it was just 12 kicks out of hand for Toulouse in that loss to Grenoble, and 14 for Bordeaux, who played some scintillating rugby, scoring 5 tries to 2 last week. They both like to crash it up, and I've got to say again, we always talk about the size of the squads and size of the pack. I mean, this Toulouse pack again is monstrous, and they've got even bigger guys going to come off the bench, and it's the weapon they can do. But watch out for one guy I mentioned and looked at last week. I think it was his debut, wasn't it? Toulin, the number 8, or Tolin, I should say, sorry. He was everywhere, absolutely everywhere. There he is with the ball in hand, but we get a penalty.
Yes, a penalty. Front row problems there for Toulouse. Marco Tellen, look out for him, just 21. Was in the France squad at the Junior World Championship when France hosted it almost 2 years ago. Didn't really feature there very much, didn't get many starts. And in fact, last weekend at the Stade Chaumont-Delmas, and touch just found there. Well, Jean Bouillou, now a Pau, of course.
Well, if it was his first start last week for Toulon, sorry, it was 14 carries and averaged about 7.5 metres.
Yes, it was his first appearance in the top 14 as a starter, Marco Tellen.
Fantastic.
And favourable comparisons with a certain Louis Picamol,
who's on the bench for Toulouse today. He's just having a rest. I'm sure we will see him probably about the 55-60 minute mark. That's what they like to do.
They find Jean-André Marais, the South African. Here's the drive from Bordeaux Begles. Taken on. There is Tolin straight into the action. A carry within 5. There goes Marais. Adams, big hit. The penalty is blown. And Toulouse are guilty of coming offside, coming in from the side.
Well, the shout came on straight away. 3 points. The way Tolin splintered again. You can see Pooks there. Over over a decade of service for Toulouse, and he was at the heart of it. And this Tolin is a real handful. And actually, when you see him do that off the one line, you think, well, go for the power play again. Galland just gets Adams down to the floor, but I think the sensible option, get some points on the board, and build a lead.
So just 3 men have racked up more points in the top 14 this season than Pierre Bernard, but he didn't get that one out of the middle.
It's a rather wrong club selection. Wry smiles from the Bordeaux bench.
Yes, that was Vincent Lechetto alongside Rafa Ibanez. So 5 minutes gone at the Stade Ernest Vallon. And still Toulouse 0, Bordeaux Begles 0. Dusan. Plenty of hang time there on the restart. Superbly gathered by Talabula. Here's Haney Adams. Out from Guitoun. Picked up on the bounce by Marais. There it is for the South African scrum half. On to Bernard. There's Abbey. They feature so prominently in the stats season after season, the Samoa international. That was Le Bourhis on to Chalmers. 10 metres inside the Toulouse half. Bernard again. Berend Buerta. There goes Bernard again, looking for the inside ball to Guitoun. Well picked up by Adams on the half volley. Abbey. Good continuity this from Bordeaux Begles.
Well, they've certainly come to play, and this is the style. I think when they struggled throughout the season, they stopped going away from this, and they know only a victory really will do for them today. But it's a turnover.
And there goes Johan Hougeot onto Matanabu. Well played there by the Fijian. Well, Toulouse are penalised. The ball being held there in the contact. It was Corey Flynn.
6 bleus au premier contest.
Super play from Bordeaux. Not initially with a turnover, and that was the captain, Madal. Ex-Narbonne. Getting over top of the ball and been able to be like a shock absorber, take the hit after hit as Corey Flynn made that initial charge. And he's having the strength and having the ability to jackal over the ball and stay there. And here's Ave, who I think is an outstanding player. Again, he's pretty strong in the tight, which you have to be. You play in the top 14, you've got to give your all there, but around the field, I think he's probably the most mobile hooker in this league.
Taken on there by Madal. Bernard. Julian Ray. There goes Tolène. Bordeaux looking dangerous, but it's been lost forward in the contact.
It's twice now. Brilliant break from Adams, the scrum half. Everybody coming on an angle. But again, you can't afford just to give the ball away. Hougeot and Ave shaking hands. Nothing sinister, nothing nasty in that. Good game so far. No points on the board, but 8 minutes, a lot of endeavour out there.
Well, we already have a score from down at the Stade Jean Daget. There is Scott Spedding. The try has gone the way of Bayonne. Perfect start. So they're into a 5-7 point lead now against La Rochelle. And remember, if Bayonne can do better in their match than Brive do at home to Stade Francais, it will be Brive who go down, and that's assuming Grenoble get a point at Lyon. So first blood in that respect after just 4 minutes for Bayonne at home to La Rochelle.
Well, I've got Bayonne beating La Rochelle, I've got Brive beating Stade Francais. We will see.
There's Le Bourhis, back after almost 2 months out. Stabbed forward there by Bernard. Across comes Hougeot.
Hougeot hasn't got a left boot. Covering, he played on the left wing last week. He's and roam across the back three. Very talented player, but as you can see, he has no left boot in there, and all he can do is just hammer it in. It's good pressure from Bordeaux, good orchestration. The forwards are producing good quick ball, been able just to keep that ball behind Toulouse, keep them thinking, and trying to give the forwards a little bit of field position.
Out there from Adams, onto Bernard, there's Ray again. It's the old centre combo here. Julien Ray and Félix Le Bourhis, which have done so well for Bordeaux Begles over the course of the last couple of seasons. Ball lost forward there from Beremburta. Here goes Timothy Matanabou. Matanabou taken down by Taleni. Can tackle as well, can the big man. It's then spilled forward by McAllister. Referee playing an advantage here. Chipped ahead by Louis Mador. It's been fumbled. Back goes Basie. It's been taken over. It'll be a 5-metre scrum.
Murray takes that, makes that crucial tackle, and anyone watching, any school children watch him always play to the whistle. McAllister has given up on it. Ball goes over the top from Madal, and then the big South African second row grabs Aldebezi and says, mate, we're going to have a 5-metre scrum. You know his looks on. Will he be the national coach of France? Very interesting, isn't it? You said Raphael Ibanez was tipped, and Joe Worsley was tipped to go with him. Who knows in France?
News from elsewhere. Well, Lyon have scored 2 tries in the first 10 minutes against Grenoble. So Lyon, who we know are already down, are leading Grenoble by 14 points to 3. So Grenoble, they have to get a point there to be certain of survival. And in what may seem a slightly unlikely scenario, if Grenoble earn nothing at Lyon, if Bayonne pick up all 5 points against La Rochelle, and Brive beat Stade Francais by 4 league points to 0, then it would be Grenoble who go down. There are 3 teams today who could join Lyon in Pro D2 next season. So at the moment, things not going well for Bernard Jackman's men.
Couldn't you get to sleep last night?
We'll come to that when the results come through. It's going to be a fair old afternoon. It really is.
Yeah, I love it.
Eyes and ears everywhere.
It is phenomenal because obviously the top 2 have a weekend off, don't they?
Yes, also a bit of news coming from Colombes, up in the northwest of the capital, where Castro scored the first try against Racing Metro. Tolène again being held up by Dusatois. Here, Bordeaux Begles desperately need a victory if they are to stand any chance of going into the playoffs, but the decision there from Alexander Ruiz goes the way of Toulouse.
But Dusan was actually on helping his skipper out there, Dusatois, but he's built like a hooker or a prop, isn't he, Dusan? Over top of the ball, and he doesn't actually roll away. He should roll away. You can see Dusatois has done a very good job of holding the Bordeaux 8 up, but the referee deemed it. So Toulouse get the put in. Bit of pressure going to come on there, I'm sure, though, from this scrum.
Jean-Baptiste Poux, though, what a career he's had. 42 caps for France. Involved in 4 French Championship finals for Toulouse in his decade at the Stade Ernest Ballon. Pierre Bernard, who came through the academy here. So the put in there from Sébastien Basie, not the straightest, picked up by Galin. 5 metres out from their own try line, penalty to Toulouse.
Notre Cléo Willis, on lâche pas clairement. Le 9, le 4. 4.
Well, we've got a bit of news from Stade Jean Daget. And in response to that try from Guillaume Rouet, well, La Rochelle have got one there. You could see Goujat picking it up at the tail, and straight through goes Julian Berger. And the try was converted. It is now 7 points apiece at the Stade Jean Daget. So as things stand, and it's very early in the afternoon to start talking in those terms, it is Bayonne who will be going down.
Of course, all talk this week or last week, wasn't it? Bayonne and Biarritz merging together, a bit like Bordeaux did. But I don't think they're too happy down there, the Bayonne faithful. No,
it's been mooted every now and again over the last few seasons. And I think there had been one or two discussions happening between the officials from the two clubs. Manu Merin, the president at Bayonne. And also, don't forget, Mr. Blanco from Biarritz.
It leaked out, didn't it?
It leaked out into the papers, and Manu Merin, the president from Bayonne, held a press conference on Monday morning. And he broke down in tears and said that even his family have been receiving death threats, as he described them. So, for now at least, the merger is off.
They won't be merged. Oh my word.
There goes Chalmers. Chalmers onto Adams. Adams finds support inside. Tolen going for the line. Big tackle coming in there from David. Danger still not gone. Gomez Cadella. That is the try. Bordeaux Begles have struck first.
Well, just as you think nothing's going to happen there, and it's going to be easy to clear the line. Galland gets taken at the back of the scrum. You don't see that very often. Scrum halves these days don't tend to put on too much pressure down at the 8. And I feel to myself sometimes, why not? Because he's a big lad, Galland, and he takes a little bit to bend down there. And if the pressure comes on, just watch this. Adams just gets in there, puts his arms off. Galland puts the passway to the New Zealander Chambers, and that's good play again from the South African scrum half. Toulon, as ever, look, just waited his time. He's got oodles of people to hit. He hits the big prop forward, the Argentinian guy, and he just crashes over. Tremendous start for Bordeaux.
And as you pointed out there, Marco Toulon at the heart of it again. And Bernard, well, it's much the same as the first attempt, but Bordeaux Begles lead by 5 points to 0. There is the try scorer, the man once of Biarritz. The Puma, 11 caps for Argentina. Well, he's got the first score at the Stade Ernest Banal, and that's great news for Bordeaux Begles. If they do get a win here, they're very likely to be moving into the playoffs.
Well, that's one for Henny Adams there. You talked about the experience of Pooks, but Henny Adams with big, the Blue Bulls, 3 Curry Cups, I think I remember him getting. So incredible experience and just knowing exactly what to do. Get in, harass the number 8, and then things may happen. As it was, it did happen. Galland's pass straight to Chalmers, and as we just seen, big try for Bordeaux.
Yes, as things stand in the league, of course, Bordeaux Begles lying in 6th spot on the same number of points as Racing Metro in 7th. Just ahead of them, Oyonnax on 62, but Oyonnax are at the Stade Mayol today against Toulon, and the news from there is that Toulon lead Oyonnax by 6 points to 0. Well, both Bernard and Blair Connor were underneath that. It went forward. Here goes Dusan. Chalmers holding on to him. Sebastian Basie has his hands on the ball now. To his captain there. There goes Imanal Haranordaki. Timothy Matanavu, once the top try scorer in Pro de Deux for Mont-de-Marsan. They've got numbers here at Toulouse. Yoann Huget. There goes Yoann Maestri. Referee playing an advantage now. There's a little stab forward. We're going to come back for the penalty. Bordeaux Begles have come offside.
Offside, they were scrambling, but again they stopped that initial offload surge by Toulouse. That's what they're obviously famous for. And it's brilliant play there. The back row linking up to Satoile first. Harry Nordaki, Matananavu, Fijian winger, Sevens experts sidestepping all over the place. I think they'll be quite happy and quite comfortable to take 3 points here.
Well, this is what is going on at the Stade Jean Daget. Well, we now have a third try. We're talking here about big number 8. There's another one. A new France international, Charles Olivon. That try was converted. It's now Bayonne 14, La Rochelle 7. 2 tries to 1. The tries will be crucial today to Bayonne. Also, we're hearing that the news from the Stade Amédée Domenech there in the Corrèze that breathe are leading Stade Francais by 3 points to 0. The penalty from the ever-reliable boot of Gaëtan Jean.
Quite sizable boot as well. As you see, Guino's kicking that ball back on. He'll be quite happy with that. There was a little bit of a storm from Bordeaux' super try from Gomez Cordella, but that's a not bad response, and that's the game they like to play. They don't really want to kick too much. They love to keep the ball in hand. Sometimes it is frustrating because they made far too many mistakes. I mean, they had all the game last week against Grenoble, but had no control over it. They had all the carries, all the tackles, everything, but just made far too many errors, turnovers.
Taken into the contact there by Dusatoir. Here's Dusa, prefers the left foot. And he finds touch. Well, we talk so much about Toulouse and their 19 French titles. Bordeaux Begles, under various guises. Would you believe it, at one point, the name of Bordeaux Begles was Union Stade Bordelais CA Bordeaux Begles Gironde. I think it's fair to say that maybe that merger wasn't the most peaceful of events around in that part of the world. Begles, which is a suburb of the biggest city. There goes Benard. Le Bourhis floating the pass out to Talaboula. Talaboula, who was the top try scorer in the league last season. Adams, the little chip over the top. There goes Blair Connor after it. Oh, it's quickly taken there by Connor. Talaboula has got his hands onto it. Well, this is the style of rugby that Bordeaux Begles really enjoy playing. I'm not so sure they'll enjoy all this sort of stuff. Johan Huget was right in the thick of it there.
Well, Huget hasn't had the most comfortable afternoon so far. Made a bit of a hash of that little chip over the top from the scrum half. Really, he should have either marked it or just seen it that it wasn't going out to touch. It was an easy ball to take. The referee's just asking the touch judge.
But it might be useful to see that again. It's important to stress that these pictures are being provided by the French broadcaster Canal+. But away comes Hara Nordicki. There's the clearance kick from Basie.
Vincent Clerc, I think, was offside anyway, so that ball's gone in. And there he is. Huget, fantastic athlete. Sometimes can get flustered. There's a big picture. I wonder what they're saying in French now.
Well, you could see the two men.
The politics of who is it. The director's cut that one. Is it going to be Guy? Or is it going to be Raphael?
Well, it was interesting reading the papers in France earlier this week that if they were promoting a boxing match, it'd be well done to the French Federation. They've managed to convince the French public that there are actually 8 men in the running for that job. They include a certain Sir Clive Woodward and also Jake White, so 2 World Cup winners said to be in the running, but those 2 men certainly lead the possibles. Guino Des and Raphael Ibanez. Well played again by the veteran Haney Adams onto Felix Le Bourhis, who made his France debut last summer on that wretched tour of Australia where they were beaten 3-0. There's Sofiane Gatoum presenting the ball. Adams, Marais scoots it up to his fellow South African Berend Botha. Senses Johnston straight over the ball, but the referee has blown his whistle. So we'll get round to making the point I was trying to make about a minute and a half ago. We talk about the 19 titles that Toulouse have won. Bordeaux Begles have won this title twice, and on both occasions in the final they beat Toulouse. The last time 24 years ago. Do you remember the identity of the Bordeaux Begles captain who lifted the trophy?
Seeing as we're talking about French coaches, he used to be a French coach, possibly at Toulon.
Yeah.
Big tall chap, played scrum half.
You see,
Bernard Laporte.
you know why I refer to it,
You do.
but you knew it anyway.
But if I ever want to phone a friend on French rugby, you're definitely it. I tell you, this Haney Adams can play, can't he? He's just getting that ball away as crisp as he can, and everyone knows he will get it away. They come on, give him options. All he needs is his front 5 to give him a little bit of platform. He's got a rampage in back row there with Chalmers, Toulet, and Madel, the captain, so they're not frightened about coming to Toulouse. They know they have to get a victory if they are to get in that top 6.
Si vous reculez, je vais pas le tolérer. D'accord? Oui, d'accord. Ok, ça marche. C'était juste un message, j'espère. Voilà.
Yes, Hayley Adams is 35 later this week. So much going on around the country.
Something's going wrong in this ground as well. How many shots of those two will we see this afternoon?
Yes, I think it's something of a top 14 cliche by the end.
It's a big job, isn't it? They've got all the talent. It's the biggest sort of most expensive league in the world. Saint-André will go after the World Cup. Who will take over? Who's taking over that scrum is Toulouse. Wow.
There's the power there of the Toulouse pack. There may be veterans there in the front row. Combined ages takes them through into 3 figures. Well, we have got news from Brive, where Brive have got a try to add to the 3-point penalty from Gaëtan Germain. Here it is, and you can see the catch there from Arnaud Mella, the captain. The ball in the hands there of Cissé Kouyamoun Bole, driven over the line. Mathieu Reynal, the referee, awards the score. It wasn't converted, but Brive leading Stade Francais by 8 points to 0.
Big score from the Excel number 8 then. The line out has gone away, but Albacete straight through on it.
Yes, and he's taken down by Chalmers. There is Basie. Basie onto Dusan. Well anticipated there by Julien Ray. Change of direction from Vincent Clerc, scuttling his way towards the corner. Well, the offload was intended for Flynn, but it didn't go to hand. The danger, though, not gone for Bordeaux Begles. It's there for Dusan, playing scrum half. McAllister at first receiver. Claire getting knocked back. Well, the pace is frantic, and it's been turned over. And Bordeaux Begles doing what they do so well, straight through the hands. There was Marco Telen, taken down by Dusan. Penalty has been awarded, though, to Toulouse. Telen guilty, got himself isolated.
He was just holding on a little bit too long. Gallen on the massive frame just got over top of him and got cleaned out. But it was deemed that Telen was just holding on. Lambelet looks on.
Votre choix, s'il vous plaît.
Yes, I think Jean Bouillou, who is, as we look to the right there of Greg Lambelet, rather smirking behind his hand. He knows he's been spotted. The man who made so many appearances, more than 300 appearances for Toulouse, and was part of that squad who got themselves promoted at Pau, who are assembling quite a squad for next season. With Conrad Smith.
One of my favourite players of all time. Never had a bad game. Wherever he played across the back row. Mr. Consistency. I've got to say Mr. Brilliant for most of the times. But this to go ahead.
And Sébastien Basie has done just that. So Toulouse are in front. News from second city, Lyon. Lyon leading Grenoble by 14 points to 6. So Grenoble, well, they'll be getting a little bit twitchy and a bit nervous. Certainly if Brive go on to win against Stade Francais. The catch there from Ghana. Taking play up to the 22. Well, a bit of accidental offside.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part, I'm sure, about Toulouse. They dominate so much possession, but unfortunately control of the ball. I mean, sorry to go back about Grenoble, who would deserve winners at the end of the day, but you know, they turned the ball over 22 times, and they had most of the possession. And what happens is they just lose their structure on something, expecting some big guy just to smash it through. And sometimes the passes don't go to hand. They love the offload game, and they are sensational when it comes off. But I'm going to say last week it didn't, and this week on occasion it hasn't again. They get position, and then they just give it away. So Bordeaux have been able to capitalise, and this is a tremendous opportunity now.
4 tries in the first 21 minutes up in the capital. Racing Metro leading Castres by 18 points to 10. And that's a match which has huge bearing on events here, and also for Oyonnax. Adams there onto Bernard, onto Le Bourgis. Here comes Gatoun looking for it. Gatoun so dangerous. Well, that was knocked on there by Johan Huget. Referee playing advantage here to Bordeaux. Adams has got it. Bernard, there's the cross kick, coming across for it. Superb try. And it's gone the way of Julien Ray. That was brilliant from Bordeaux Begles. The vision of Pierre Bernard and also the execution.
All comes from an absolutely super scrum. Didn't have to do anything, they just locked in. Hani Adams hit Bernard up straight away, and you thought actually Gatoun and Ray was going to score. This time the ball gets recycled. You can see Bernard, absolute perfection. You could not have thrown it better than that. Ray just trying to con the referee a little bit. He didn't ground it there, but you can always going to give it wide out. But again, a good score, and they can score from anywhere, all over the field. Superb touch from the Bordeaux fly half.
Well, Pierre Bernard's boot, which has been so dependable over the course of the last couple of seasons, he missed his first two, but not this one. Bordeaux back in front.
Lovely angle again. I don't know whether defence, because they've drawn the Toulouse defence all out to that left-hand side, and as you just saw then from those pictures, the only guy at home was not the quickest, Census Johnson. So he's a happy man at the moment, but as you said before, Martin, there's a long, long way to go.
Well, to use horse racing parlance, they're going good and good to firm throughout the country today, and it's reflecting in some of the score lines. 3 tries in the opening half hour at the Ultrad Stadium, where Montpellier leading Clermont by 14 points to 10. Montpellier just hoping that they can pick up 5 points and the results go well for them elsewhere, so that they can maybe pick up that 7th position. And that would mean that European playoff next weekend at either Galway or in Worcester, as that is where Gloucester will play their home match next weekend. There's Census Johnston feeding the ball back, but look at that, Johnston. The Samoan and the Fijian just taking lumps out of one another.
Mate, there's a couple going here. Johnson's landed one, definitely. Something happened. I mean, the offload, you could see the adventure, the offload that Toulouse were playing, and then another mistake, and all of a sudden Talaboula's come in and Johnson's landed one on him.
Well, I guess the point is, how many cards and what colour?
Well, exactly, there will be 2 cards. Hopefully they're yellow, because if it's red, you'll miss next week's game, and Toulouse don't want Johnson off. And equally, if Bordeaux are to get through, they want Talaboula on the field. He's an incredible talent, scoring tries and just carrying the ball, so we will listen in.
So Alexandre Ruiz has consulted Vincent Azoulay, the television match official.
I think what had happened is he's dislodged the ball, and then something's happened. He's gone to his throat, and it's about now. There you go. This is what we'll see. He's frustrated because he's lost the ball. Talaboula comes when he takes one then. That's a slap, that's a pin, that's a punch straight to the head. So Talaboula's come in, he's dropped the ball, so there's something's gone on. Bang, bang, that's a shoulder, that's the one there. So, if he's lucky, he's going to get a yellow, by the letter of the law, that's a rouge. That's why they're taking their time on this one. This is I wouldn't say a season changer for Toulouse, but a big blow to their chances. That's hit him.
And in the end, you get a sense there's Jandre Moret, who cleans out Census Johnson. Might have done him a favour. Well,
actually done him a favour. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, he'd be getting a medal for this, but now, as the game has changed, you can't do anything, and you can't do anything like that, because it's difficult, because you're frustrated, you've carried the ball. We're not getting the TMO coming through, so we'll just have to wait. But that, it is born out of frustration, it's born out of pressure, and unfortunately you've got to keep your fists down.
So Vincent Azoulay just whispering in the ear of Alexandre Ruiz.
Hopefully it's 2 yellows, Martin. Hopefully.
Well, he's asking,
D'accord.
is this deliberate?
Well, they don't mess around, do they? We've seen some amazing decisions from referees and TMOs.
So Louis Medall, the two captains have been brought forward. Now this doesn't bode well.
D'accord, de la part du 14 bleu. Ensuite, non, vous laissez parler s'il vous plaît. Ensuite, votre geste, il est délibéré et volontaire. Vous donnez un coup de poing, puis un autre. Puis encore vous continuez. La sanction, ça n'est qu'une. Ça sera carton rouge.
Told you.
Red card to Census Johnson. And that may have profound consequences, certainly on the next hour or so. And going forward for Toulouse, William Servat just knows how much that will come to hurt over the course of the next couple of weeks.
It has to. He came on against Grenoble, right? They lost that game, but before that they had 5 on the bounce and made a massive impact. Fritz nearly scored a try off his incredible assertion because he can carry the ball around the paddock as well. What's happened is there, you can see Talabula thinks that he's had a swing initially, and then he does have a swing. And I don't think it's hurt the Fijian that much. Samoan, as you said, he gets taken out of it, and that's probably saved him a little bit. But in the end, it didn't save him because it was a red. You're not allowed to do it. And I don't know how you can defend that. So you were right. It's a massive impact on this game, a massive impact on Toulouse going forward now in the playoffs.
And at the first set piece, they're going to have to make a sacrifice, aren't they? Because they have got Nimir Tialata, the former All Black, on the bench. He's going to have to come on to fill that gap at tight head. Who does it mean they're going to sacrifice? Will they go for a back row forward? Will they lose a wing?
Well, I think V and Corey Flynn were having a chat there. Obviously, V born in Wellington and Flynn being ex-Cantabrian. A bit of fun out of all the brutality that's gone out there. They can still have a laugh and a giggle, but Gallen has to make way. Obviously, you've got to have a recognised prop on. I don't think it'll weaken the scrum, but it may give Bordeaux a slight advantage. But from Toulouse point of view, get it in, get it out, and get it into touch.
Yes, I think that they've opted to keep on there the greater versatility and perhaps the line-out qualities of Emmanuel Haranordiki. They've got enough ballast there with the two men in the second row.
Well, Haranordiki, he's known as number 8 anyway, so he will drift back to carry the ball backwards. And latterly in the game, you'll see Picamole do that. You know, a massive carry of the ball because that's his job. But Pooks knows his job. Is it 10, 11 seasons, as you said, Martin, with Toulouse, he'll say, right, OK, we can smell this, we can just get underneath them there. Look at the size of those three. It'll take some getting under, but 8 invariably are stronger than 7.
Flexion.
Well, Bordeaux Begles are being presented with a golden opportunity. They lead by 6 within, what, 6 minutes of half-time. The one result that really has to go their way is the result up on the Mediterranean coast at the Stade Mayol, and the latest from there is that Toulon lead Oyonnax by 20 points to 0. So Oyonnax, they may well miss out on the playoffs, because the last we saw Racing Metro were ahead against Castres. There goes Sofiane Guitoun. Well, it's a febrile atmosphere.
There's a punch that had gone in again from somebody. Yeah, the referee's seen it.
Stop. Ici, 4.
Yoann Maestri is digging a hole for himself here.
Ici. Pas avec moi, ça marche.
Just calm down, correct referee. The crowd think that Talabou is the pantomime villain. 4. Well, it is Maestri. I'm sure I saw a swinging arm.
And I can imagine the instruction that's going to come from the sideline from Rafael Ibanez is do not get drawn into this.
No. You've got a massive chance now. One off. Just have a quick look. Guitons takes it in. Maestri, luckily, again, you come in from the side for a start and you can't drive in, and he's driven in on his ribs. So I think the referee probably has done the right thing. He could have quite easily have yellow carded him. This guy needs to find his boots.
Well, it's another poor strike.
What's that now? 3's missed?
That's 3 he's missed, and I think significantly, not only 3 he's missed, but 3 that he struck very badly.
And again, See that, because you get another 6 points on top of that. Obviously it's 18-6, but it's the pressure you put on Toulouse. They're very loose. The game isn't going to them at the moment. They're not finding the offload successfully, so it just puts more pressure on and you build points. So it's advantage Bordeaux, but slightly, as long as Bernard keeps missing the kicks.
Well, Racing Metro are leading Castres by 18 points to 10, so as things stand, it's Oyonnax who are going to miss out. Oyonnax, if things stay as they are, will be playing in that playoff match next weekend at either Galway or at Worcester against Gloucester. Here goes Johan Huger. Gets through the tackle there of Chalmers. Well, Alexander Ruiz may need a bit of company to get out of Toulouse tonight.
Yes, an escort. The gendarmes. He's done nothing other than just done what the TMO has said. And as I said, Ibanez, just again, he's trying to control his troops, just calm down. He's obviously calm like that. He was never calm on the pitch, I can assure you. But his opponent just says, look, lads, we've had a tremendous opportunity here, a phenomenal opportunity. Remember that Toulouse, when they back, when it was lost 5 on the bounce at the beginning of the season, and everyone was calling for Guino versus Head, weren't they? And things that happened, not going right. And
it is remarkable if you think in last year's barrage round, which was Toulouse here against Racing Metro, that was the day when Guino sent Florian Brits back on, with blood streaming down his face, and clearly not necessarily sure of what day of the week it was. So we now have Guino who is apparently in line to take over the France job. It just goes to show how fickle sport is. There is Basie. On to Dusan. Through comes McAllister. Gets through the tackle there of Bernard. Not so Chalmers. It would be a remarkable return here for Toulouse if they do win this. A game which you could argue will not have a huge bearing on what happens next for them. Thierry Dusatoir there just working away with the boot. But certainly one or two things have not only got under Census Johnson's skin, but the entire team. Here goes Nimir Tialata getting through Abbey. Basie onto the captain Dusatoir. He's spun round. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. That was Haranordaki. Here goes Albacete. Well, there is a Toulouse player down. So at the moment they've got just 13 players involved in the match. There goes Dusan within a couple of metres of the Bordeaux 22. Maestri again. Tialata.
I think the words come on from the side. Instead of going forward and just chancing the offload, go forward, hit the grass and recycle and go at the guts of Bordeaux.
Haranordaki pops it basketball style to Matanabu, who gets through the tackle of Connor, taken down by a combination of Bertrand Adams. Here goes Dusan again. Haranordaki slow to get back to his feet. Vincent Claire. Bordeaux Begles leading by 12 points to 6. They've got the 2 tries. The referee's arm is out. There's a penalty advantage to Toulouse here. There goes Maestri. This time it's Gotro Steenkamp. Well, if we think about the force of some of these impacts, it is stunning, isn't it? And then it's fumbled forward. And we will come back for the penalty.
And through all that, we know Joe Worsley very, very well, World Cup winning with England. He runs the defence for Bordeaux, and they were very, very happy, very capable. Obviously, numerically, they won up. They're blowing quite hard at the moment, but that shall not pass. Very comfortable in the lineup, the structure, and Dusatoir in the end, he would have 5 or possible 7 to get back, really back into this game. They will take the 3. That's the sensible option. But again, it takes a lot out of them. 2 great forwards there, 2 great back row forwards, Nyanga and Picabol just behind. He'll be coming on maybe sooner than later, because they're now going to have to exert a lot more energy. 7 forwards out there now that Census Johnson has been put in the naughty boys, well, put on the naughty boys. There's a big step, obviously, but this should be a definite 3 and reduce the lead by 3.
Well, we've got more news to bring you from around the grounds. We'll save that to half-time because Sebastian Bézi has slotted the 3 points. I was expecting a huge day on round 26 in France. This is not only living up to expectations, it's going way beyond them. Not only here at the Stade Ernest-Valin, where Bordeaux Begles lead by 12 points to 9, but everywhere else too. And this is the first of those Bordeaux Begles scores. Francisco Gomez Cadella, he got the first. Julien Ray got the second. Can Bordeaux Begles go to the playoffs?
Je veux dire, se servir de Montpellier pour gagner cette équipe et peut-être revenir avec la qualif après 40 minutes, mais rien n'est fait. Voilà, c'est pas du tout un discours de mec confiant, c'est quelqu'un qui a peur.
Merci.
Martin Gelling and Dowie Morris taking you through the final day of action in the top 14. That's the league phase, of course, and we've got more rugby coming up later in the week. Ireland against the Barbars, 7:30 Sky Sports 1, that's on Thursday. And then on Sunday, the Barbarians, they move on at Twickenham where they take on England, 2:30 Sky Sports 3. Well, we've been doing a few additions on our fingers and toes and looking through the 7 matches in the top 14 in round 26, which are all happening simultaneously. As things stand, it is Toulon and Clermont who will go straight through to the semi-finals in a fortnight's time in Bordeaux. Positions 3, 4, 5 and 6. There is Census Johnson, who's seen the red card. But as things stand, it's Stade Francais will take on Racing Metro, a Paris derby in one of those barrage matches. And would you believe, as things stand, the other barrage match is this fixture again here in a week's time. Bordeaux Begles will never have a greater opportunity, Dowie. They're 3 points up and they're 1 man up.
And I think they've got enough experience out there and enough sort of game changers to actually, I would say, it's going to be a big shout for me to see this game out, because we know the talent that Toulouse possess, not only on the pitch, even though they've got 14 coming off it, but I think Bordeaux, as you said, they've got a tremendous opportunity now. They've got good parity in the scrum, they've got a tremendous half-back partnering of Adams and Benard, as long as he can start kicking the goal. But as soon as I say this, of course, Toulouse come away and start banging on the door.
Yes, Namir Tialata is the replacement tight head who came on for Census Johnson. They sacrificed Julien Galland. There is the usual pen and paper that we see Guino Dess jotting down on. Bordeaux Begles, well, they can't afford to curb their natural instincts, can they, today?
You can't, but you need your 9 and a 10, or even your second receiver at 12 to come in on a situation like that. You've got Corey Flynn acting as a scrum half and Steenkamp acting as a 10. A loose head prop. Fine, if you catch the ball and you know what to do with it, but that Toulouse, that's their problem. And that was their problem early in the season when they lost those five games from August the 30th to September the 26th. They just couldn't catch the ball, they didn't do the right things. You need control, even with this team of Galacticos. A 9 and a 10 controls the pace and controls the direction of the game.
Latest on the other end of the table, well, still 3 sides as we reset that scrum. Still 3 teams in danger of joining Lyon in Pro D2 next season. As things stand, it's Bayonne who are going down, despite the fact they lead La Rochelle by 19 points to 7. But if they get that 4th try, if they get themselves in sight of a try bonus point, then the pressure will shift to both Brive and Grenoble. Grenoble need just a single point today to ensure their safety, and after a poor start they lead Lyon by 18 points to 7, so that will be enough for them. Brive, who are ahead against Stade Francais, they're 8-0 up on Stade Francais. Well, if they don't win with the full 5 points, and Bayonne do, it will be Brive who go down. So a dramatic last 40 minutes at 3 grounds in terms of relegation. The penalty there conceded by Toulouse. Bordeaux Begles will want to capitalise on this one-man advantage. They didn't do it towards the end of that first half. Here's Pierre Bernard.
Merci, Nico.
He's landed 1 out of 4 so far this afternoon.
So it could be worse for Toulouse. I'm not quite sure it was deemed from the touch judge. White wasn't binding on the arm or binding straight.
I would like a long bind,
doesn't manage to relieve a bit of pressure for Hervé. He's been quiet this afternoon because he's having to do his work in the tight. But there's no more mobile hooker or elusive hooker in the top 14 than him.
Well, that didn't go to hand, or at least to the hand of the Bordeaux Begles player. It's come away in the hands of Corey Flynn. Dusan getting through the first tackle. Chalmers apprehended him then. There goes Dussatoir. The referee was playing an advantage, but that advantage now over. Ball left behind there by Haranordiki, knocked on. Here comes Chalmers. Chalmers out to Le Bohis. Blair Connor in a bit of a tight spot over on the far side. Good hands there from Le Bohis, back to Soufiane Guitoun. Haranordik's down with his hand up in the air, so Toulouse down to 13. Bordeaux Begles will want to take advantage of that. There comes a V onto Gendre Moret. Moret inside the 22, but he's dumped into touch.
Brilliant skill from Hervé. Just as I mentioned him, when we look at pictures of Haranordiki, that's holding a hamstring, putting ice on a hamstring, so Vinovas will not want him going off, even though you've got a fantastic replacement, Piccamol. Well, Gallen obviously has gone off for Census Johnson in the scrum scenario. This is the turnover. You could just see something. He actually...
It's the ball, isn't it?
Yeah, he gets his foot shin caught on the ball. He goes there. That's not what it would have been a forward pass. And just gets pushed over. It's actually not the touch date. Nyanga comes on. But brilliant skill going back to Hervé, the Bordeaux Begles hooker. Just his ability to come off his winger like a winger, get his arms free and get the ball back out, and that's not a very good side. Head down, that could be his season.
Well, Yannick Nyanga is on. He's certainly in his final season, his last month as a Toulouse player. He'll be moving up to the capital in the summer, a Racing Metro player. Away comes Corey Flynn. 5 minutes gone in the second half. It's still 12 points to 9. Bordeaux Begles lead. And Bordeaux Begles haven't won at the Stade Ernest Vallon for 21 years, would you believe? It's a long, long time. But what a day to do it would be. Since the introduction of the playoff system in the top 14, Bordeaux Begles have never gone through to the playoffs. Champions twice. Most recently 21 years ago, that year that they won here. There goes Le Bohis. Out from Guitoun to Blair Connor. It ricocheted off a Toulouse hand and into touch.
Been quiet today, hasn't he, Connor? It's not been much ball or ammunition going his way. He is, again, another live wire. That's Queensland Red. But not the biggest player, so there is still a place for the small guys on the field, but again, it's all about the power happens. The Bordeaux coaching staff, it's their ability now just to control the game. I think the biggest thing is to control the defence. There's still only 3 points up, but they have that numerical advantage. They just need to get into the territories and take their 3 points. If Bernard could actually kick them.
Well, that was well gathered there by Blair Connor. Really no shortage of talent out wide for Bordeaux Begles when you consider that the likes of Romain Lonca, he's injured, so too Dali Donvo's had knee surgery out for the season. Adam Ashley Cooper is on his way next year. They're a very ambitious club, and Laurent Marty, the president of Bordeaux Begles, said at the start of the season that European qualification was the target. In other words, top 6. They win today, they will achieve that.
Come on, boys. Come on, Ollie, come on.
Well, we've got more news coming from the Stade Jean Daget. We'll hold that back for a couple of moments' time, but it's going to have real significance on the race to stay in the top 14. There's the foot in from Sébastien Bézi. As you would expect, the Toulouse pack in retreat, picked up there by Yannick Nyonga. Bézi has it. Here goes Dusan, the change of direction. He's got Vincent Clerc outside. He takes the contact. The crowd think that one or two of those tackles were a little high. Here goes Guthro Steenkamp, the former Springbok, now retired from international rugby. Here's Nyonga spinning, getting through Talabula, edging their way towards the halfway line. There's Tialata, who moved to Toulouse from Bayonne. Clerc was very quickly out of the blocks there. Caught by Gattoon, onto Talabula. Talabula, who once started a test match against England at Twickenham. At fly half, would you believe? Albacete competing for it, they've turned it over. Here goes Yann David. Dusan. Chip over the top there from Luke McAllister. Gattoon allowing it to bounce. Matanavu was coming through very swiftly. Now it's Connor. Here goes McAllister, skipping on to Houget. Matanavu's asking for it, but the ball's gone astray.
It's just that final pass all the time, or that final insertion into the line. It just breaks down. I think the biggest thing is you watch Toulouse when they attack, they can't really handle the rush defence from Bordeaux. That time was a loose kick from Connor, and McAllister only knows one way, that's going forward. Great tackle from the captain again, Madol. Mrs. McAllister bumping people off. But really, if you look back at that move when it first came out to the backs, it's the press coming from out to in. They don't like it.
So here's that news from the Stade Jean Daget. Lucas Pointu, the prop. His first try of the season. What a time to get it. So that's a fourth try for Bayonne. Meanwhile, Arna Mignardi back in action after a long time. Feeds the ball out into there to the hooker. And back again to Arna Mignardi. Mignardi getting a score for Brive. But as things stand, Bayonne are staying up, and Brive, despite that try, and despite the fact they're leading against Stade Francais, will go down. The latest score coming from the second city, Lyon, is Lyon are now leading Grenoble by 20 points to 18, but that is enough at the moment to keep Grenoble up. Really, it's going one way and then the other, and then perhaps even another at the bottom. Remember, 3 teams could go down. Grenoble, Brive and Bayonne at the moment, despite leading their match at the Stade Amédée Domenech, it is Brive who are going down.
He's done it again. He gets penalised. Eddie Adams is instrumental in that first try for Gomez Cadola. He's just Gallen at the base that time. He looks at the referee, says, come on, mate. McAllister's going to go for the 3 points. He puts his hands on it. For me, that's absolutely fine. He's put his hands on it, he scooped it back. Difficult one. As soon as you break it away from that scrum, you take your hand off the scrum, that becomes a live ball.
So Luke McAllister, the long-range specialist at Toulouse. Kicking percentages coming into the match, 77, so in other words, around about 3 successes with every 4. Oh, it's a big block and a push. Comfortable there for Sofiane Gattoon. 28 minutes remain at the Stade Ernest Valley. There you can see Census Johnson and Gillian Gallant.
That's when Harry Nordique picked up his injury, and it would look like a hamstring problem, a tear perhaps. And from the way he's grimacing and holding that, he won't be playing again until the start of next season, wherever that may be, Martin.
Here goes Gattoon. What a story it would be if Emmanuel Harry Nordique returns to Pau, where he made his French Championship debut 16 years ago. News coming out of Toulouse over the course of the last few days is that Harry Nordique will be moving on. No confirmation yet. Julian Ray fitting it out to Bernard. Bernard knocked it backwards, gets a second bite. On here to Connor. Connor going himself. He had Le Bourhis alongside him. He's given it, and Matanovo is away. And Matanovo is very, very quick. And look at the work there from Marco Tellen, who managed just to grab hold of the short elastic of the wing. Here goes Talabula again.
Toulouse, that is, I wouldn't say a match-winning saving tackle because there's so long to go, but that was just outstanding from the youngster. How he got back and how he defended and how he put his arm out just to grab the shirt. Brilliant.
The kick from Bernard, fielded by Johan Huget. Huget has only missed one France international in the last 2 years. A little stab through this time from Tellen. Then Vincent Clair going backwards, and Gattoon knocks him into touch.
Mate, this Toulen's got everything. He literally has got everything. He's got a good boot, a tremendous rugby brain, fantastic tackling, superb carry of the ball. He will be an international, French international, without a shadow of a doubt.
An update from the Stade Maillot. Toulon stretching their lead against Oyonnax. It's now 27 points to 3, so Oyonnax are utterly reliant now on results elsewhere, and they're not going their way. They will be praying for a Toulouse return here. Alterations being made in the back row by Bordeaux Begles. Peter Saïle, the older brother of Francis. Man from the Blues franchise in New Zealand.
And if you want an extra carrier, this boy can carry for you. Tremendous last week. At the heart of everything, so that's not a bad impact. It's good to have a substitute or someone who can actually add real oomph, and that's it.
A rehearsed move, it went very slickly. In comes Ray. On there to Berenbuerta. Oh, and the ball just flies forward in the contact. Referee's playing an advantage here. But look at the commitment. It is absolute.
Means so much. European Cup rugby on the horizon for Bordeaux. Toulouse want to get in again to the playoffs, possibly to win it. What's it, the 20th? Cap, my goodness me, Maestri goes off, Pickemall comes on, it's all going on out there. People crashing in with the ball. The one thing they can't do, and now Bordeaux have caught Toulouse's problem is holding on to it.
Carlos big Joe Takori, he replaces Johan Maestri. Louis Pickemall in for the captain Thierry Dusautoir. The news from Stade Jean Daget, both La Rochelle and Bayonne down to 14. Yellow cards for Jean Monribeau, one of the try scorers for Bayonne. And Julien Berger, who got the try for La Rochelle. La Rochelle, just one of the two sides today in France, who you could argue have very little to play for. La Rochelle safely into the top 14 next season, which not that many aficionados would happen. They've done incredibly well. Powerful drive from the Toulouse pack, despite being a man down.
Well, they're off.
Dusan, they're out to McAllister. Fumbled forward then by Pickemall, who's still fumbling and hacking the ball on.
And that sums up again, as I said, Toulouse for me. Really, that ball, they've just won a scrum. 7 forwards against 8. hoof the ball up the field. The big players are on. Joe Takiri's just come on, added his extra weight, pick a ball at the back. What do they do? Tap and go, make another mistake. Their error count is horrendous, as it was last week. And this boy only does one thing. He does it very well.
Huge man.
No.
He replaces the scorer of the first try, Francisco Gomez Fidela.
No control the ball.
Well, we've got another try down at the Stade Jean Daget. Bayonne doing all they possibly can to ensure their survival. And there's the former All Black, Joe Rokokoko. So that is a 5th try for Bayonne. So Bayonne, as things stand, have the 5 points. They can do no more than that. Breathe now, looking over their shoulders.
We'll come back to our pitches. This is what set it on the way. He's just been substituted. First try scorer, Gomez Cadola. Argentinian tight end. His day's work is done at the moment. You don't know his substitution, and it's only 3 points still in it. No score in the second half.
Flexion.
25 to go. A long way. And again, I think Hani Adams is looking at that blind side. I'm sure he is. Does he fancy it? Great scrum.
The arm is out from the referee. Bernard, the attempt at the drop from Bernard. But he knew the penalty was coming.
I know what he's saying. You had a chance to go, you had the movement of the ball in your hands, and he just went for a drop goal. But he's been atrocious off the floor. Great with ball in hand, and when he's kicking out of hand, set up that tremendous try in the corner. The pass kick for Ray. And really, you've got a penalty coming here. That's a great surge forward. It's straight. There it goes. Right, you've got a chance to nothing. And then, boom. He goes for the drop and misses. He's got to get this.
It's going to be an incredibly nervous last 20 minutes for those followers of Grenoble. Bernard Jackman's side. Lyon have just missed a penalty attempt there. Grenoble, if they fail to get any points today, could end up going down. At the moment, Lyon leading that match by 20 points to 18. Pierre Bernard, who's had his problems off the kicking tee this afternoon, well, they've added another 3. An alteration in the front row now from Toulouse. Off goes Guthrie Steenkamp. Cyril Bay is on. The youngster, there goes Steenkamp.
Reprise.
So I think it's a suitable opportunity just to look at how things are going now at the top of the table. Well, the side who are missing out on the playoffs are Oyonnax.
On est dedans.
Oyonnax trailing badly at Toulon. Here, Bordeaux Begles ahead of Toulouse, and if Bordeaux Begles get the victory here, that will deny Oyonnax, because Racing Metro are ahead against the 2013 champions Castro. At the bottom end of the table, well, the 2 bottom sides, not the 2 bottom sides, because Lyon are gone, but the 2 sides under greatest threat of relegation are both leading, but significantly Bayonne are on track to pick up the try-bonus point against La Rochelle. And as things stand, it's Brive who are going down, though Grenoble still have big problems at Lyon. They trail Lyon. And if Brive were to get 5 points, if Bayonne were to get 5 points, and Grenoble get nothing, then it's Grenoble who go down to Pro D2.
2 good kicks there from Bernard, 1 for the 3 points, and then 1 for getting out from the deep and putting into row Z. And again, it was a good turnover ball from the line-out. So at the moment, everything seems to be going Bordeaux's way.
Yoann Huget and Vincent Clair rather getting in one another's way there, but Huget recovering well. There goes Picamont. Little skip there from Vincent Clair. I think Vincent Clair's hurt now. And it's a penalty to Toulouse. Well, that's a concerning sight for Vincent Clair.
Le numéro 12, il y a une phase de placage, j'ai l'impression de danger, il va taper avec le pied.
Apparently a bit better now. I'm always a bit worried about the Vincent Clair knee because it almost forced his retirement 18 months or so ago.
20 minutes to go. 20 minutes to go, and again, it's getting tight. But if you were Rafael Ibanez coming into this game, if he was going to be 6 points ahead, it probably will be 3. He'd have taken it, and then he set his stall out. He just caught a rib there, didn't he, Vincent Clair, as he goes forward. It's the big Sekiro Buta. You want him lying on you, and it's his knee. It wasn't malicious, but he did make contact. And he's not made contact with that. Oh, dear, dear, dear.
Well, that's one that got away, Guino Bess. He knows that even if his side lose today, they still get another chance. They're still in the running.
Pooks is off. So I'm expecting this ball to go downtown as far as he can kick it. There you go. Chase for your lives depending on it.
Yes, one of the great names in French rugby's on now. Jefferson Poirot replacing Jean-Baptiste Pooks. Jefferson Poirot, who started his career at Brive. Doucet on there to Cyril Bay, taken down by Gendré Marais. Here's Doucet. On to Yann David. Yannick Nyonga just getting through the little scrum half. Spun down though by Beren Burta. There's Picamole offloading to Tialata. Picamole just doing the fending off. Into the final quarter of the final day of the league phase. Nyonga. That's a brilliant run from the back row forward. Basie.
It's forward.
The little pass, and the referee's playing a penalty advantage here to Toulouse. And I must say that pass did look a little suspicious.
Nyonga wants to win this on his own. 2 tremendous runs with the ball. Corey Flynn now his hands on it.
Flynn throws the ball back. It's taken in by Doucet. Now the gap's surely opening up for Toulouse. There goes Houget. Houget gets the score. What a brilliant try from Johan Houget. A fortnight ago against Brive, he scored a hat-trick. But what a last 16 or 17 minutes this sets up for Toulouse and Bordeaux.
Bordeaux had a number of chances to get that ball back, but Houget, he is a tremendous finisher. You're thinking that ball should have gone through his hands, go through his hands. You've got Picamole outside it, and if you back yourself, you've got to go there. Not even Talabula. Been in the thick of things all afternoon, but Houget has got a 5-pointer. This to put Toulouse 1 point ahead. And remember, they've been down to 14 men from what, the 30-odd minute, and that's straight through the middle. Good kick.
And Basie takes Toulouse into the lead. It's 16 points to 15. And we've got more news this time from Stade Amadei Domenech. It's a 3rd try for Brive. And this one has gone to the speedster, Elia Randiki, who's come off the bench, gets the try. It's a 7-point score. They lead Stade Francais by 20 points to 0. So as things stand, we've got both Bayonne and Brive earning 5 points apiece. And with at the moment Grenoble doing enough to pick up a losing bonus point at Lyon, as things stand, it is Bayonne who are going down despite what looks like being a runaway victory against La Rochelle.
But we've got about 16, 17 minutes to go, so it will all change again, I'm sure, as this game has just changed now. Straight away, what happens is penalty. Picamole's come on, and So many times, Guy Noves doesn't have to say anything, doesn't have to look. Sivat puts his arms out in a French shrug, but it doesn't matter. It's a penalty. Bernard smashed the last one, and his forwards will be hoping he'll do the same.
Yes, Oyena, we're getting well and truly thumped at the Stade Mayol. It's 34 points to 3 now to Toulon, but as things are here, Oyena are going into the playoffs. It will change though if Pierre Bernard is successful with his kick, and he's not. It is proving very, very costly. That boot of Pierre Bernard, well, is it the boot? Or is it the 5 or 6 inches between those ears? On a day like today, players have to be rock solid mentally.
Les Gorges is on for Henny Adams. Is an outstanding game, but Les Gorges, watch out for him. If there's any space, any gap whatsoever, I think he's the quickest 9 in, or one of the quickest 9 in world rugby. It's a sweeping statement, but just watch out if he gets hold of that ball. Silly is going to smash it up and give again his rest of his mates a chance. That's a penalty again, Nianga. Silly, stupid.
Well, there goes Julian Marchand, the replacement hooker.
I apologise, I thought the referee had his hand up down for a penalty, but obviously not.
Pick-a-mole. Remember, Toulouse are down to 14. They have been since the dismissal of Census Johnston. There goes McAllister, picked up at the second attempt there by Albacete. 15 minutes to go. There's Takori, on to Tialata. This time it's for Cyril Bay. Head down from Takori. The cries of Toulouse, Toulouse. That tackle looked a little high. Basic, chance here, perhaps a man over. Doucet and McAllister getting in the way of one another. There's Tialati just shrugging off Le Bois. McAllister is still down. It's a penalty now to Bordeaux Begles.
I think it's time for Flood to come on, even though the game is just dissolved as far as any structure. He's pick and drive and offload, and I think you bring him on, positioning for a drop goal maybe, but Toussaint doesn't want to stand in that position, always looking to move it really. He's outside centre. McAllister didn't have a clue what was going on. Two of them collided, and that's the result.
Jonathan Wisniewski has kicked a drop goal for Grenoble at Lyon, so Grenoble now lead at Lyon by 21 points to 20. That's more bad news for Bayonne. Bayonne, well, they will be praying for a Stade Francais try at Brive, or maybe a couple of scores for Lyon against Grenoble. Lionel Beauxis, Toulouse old boy, comes on. Blood is being spilt in the course.
Plenty of claret out there, and that's the reason why, because the communication between 10 and 12 hasn't worked. You've got to say it hasn't worked most of the day. But I was talking to, well, as I was just saying then to you, Martin, Flood possibly could come on to give some cohesion, some maybe a little bit of a structure. And as I said, that Beauxis has come on for Bordeaux. Obviously he's got a pretty good boot on him, and that's what Bordeaux have lacked. I don't know how many kicks has Bernard missed now, so they wouldn't be scratching around with just losing this game by 1 point. They'd be, what, 6-7, there you go, straight away. The two 10s, the two experienced 10s are on the field.
An update from Colombes, where Racing Metro are well ahead of Castres now by 29 points to 10. Although they don't yet have the try bonus point, and they've still got a fair amount of work to do, because Castres, they're 10 points both tries. So Racing Metro look like they're heading for 4 points. There's Lesgorg on to Saïle. 13 minutes here for Bordeaux Begles to get themselves into the playoffs. As things stand, They're going into 7th spot. Montpellier are losing at home to Clermont.
There's a penalty given away by Picamol again, but it's better to give it away there than lose another 20 metres. Pump it up into the corner. Well, not quite the corner, is it? They can't get the angle on it.
Maxime Médard being held back in reserve. I think there's no doubt he'll start next weekend.
Tense times, isn't it? Rafael Ibanez looks on. He's never going to have a better opportunity. Toulouse down to those 14 men right at the death of that sort of first half of 30-odd minutes. So this is the word. Let's come on. We take the drive, keep the ball at the back, and then try and explode off it.
Abey surges forward. There's Jan Lesgarg. Onto Begles. Onto Le Bourhis. A little step through is meant for Talaboula. Back goes Houget, who had no alternative but to run it into touch.
Brilliant play. Superb play. Keep the ball behind the opposition. Houget had absolutely nothing to do with that. Beautiful skill. There's Boucher. Straight through into the middle. He never has another expression, does he? So if the weight of the world's on his shoulders, and maybe the weight is going to come on now to his team, because I think this won't be going out to the backs. Let's go all day. You can just see them. I think these forwards will want to do a little job first. If he can get his darts right, and he can.
He finds Madol, the captain. The referee's blown his whistle. It's a penalty to Toulouse.
Le 5, le 18, les livres qui sont clairement devant, on ne peut pas attaquer le porteur de balle.
He was saying it's 5 and 18, so it's Berem Bourta.
You could almost penalise that every line-out, isn't it? The people get in front of the jumper, so when they come down, there's almost a big wall. So the defending side can't get there. We'll have a look. There it goes down. Madol is there, and you can see the big frame of 18. Jadok. That's not a tremendous kick, is it, really? Goodness me.
Well, more news coming from the Stade Amédée Domenech, and there is Rion Swanepoel. Once at Clermont-Auvergne, once of the Natal Sharks. Brive are celebrating. It's a 4th try. They are heading for the try bonus point and almost certain safety. There is a bit of news coming through from Lyon Grenoble, though, and I can tell you that Lucky Monroe has slotted a penalty for Lyon, so they are now 23-21 up on Grenoble. And if Lyon were to beat Grenoble by more than 5 points, then Grenoble will be the side who go down. It is an incredible round 26.
Wouldn't be anything else, would it, with French rugby? Talaboula making a big mistake there, taking the ball superbly well. And that time it's Toby Flood is in, Vincent Clerc is in. They just keep the big guy up, and that gives them a chance of the putting. And some idiot on the field, William Nyanga, doesn't do anything for the home side or anybody. The crowd quite like it. He's just about to get a dust up, I'm sure, though.
Doesn't do an awful lot for the reputation of those security guards if they can't apprehend him. Oh dear, and I think that tackle was rather high.
I won't see any more of the action. It just stops the game. It's you know.
Nyanga, we love you.
That's the big kiss, I think.
There you go. He's saying goodbye. He knows that Yannick Nyanga's heading up to Paris.
He's had a pretty good game since he's come on. Carried the ball superbly well.
Yes,
I think the message loud and clear. So the last 9 minutes. Bordeaux Begles, unless they could turn this around now, are heading for the Champions Cup playoff match. What an opportunity they've had. They've had a one-man advantage for more than half the match. Things crashing down on this side. Jefferson Poirot and Nimir Tialata.
1 point still in it. Everyone looks to the touch judge. not going to give much, it's just a reset. Is it going to be a penalty? One moment of brilliance.
Clairement dehors, s'il vous plaît, l'épaule. Votre épaule intérieure. Il y a mon assistant clairement dehors. Je vais sortir l'épaule clairement.
Bernard Jackman's men can breathe a little bit more easily. They're now 24-23 up on Lyon. Bayonne. Well, we had one Basque side relegated last season, Biarritz, and now the other, Bayonne, appear to be heading in the same direction, despite the fact Bayonne lead La Rochelle by 33 points to 7. They've done everything they possibly can. Look at that from Louis Picamol, just shrugging off the Bordeaux defender. 8 minutes. Takuri on there to Marchand. Marchand going down on halfway. There's Toby Flood. In comes Luke McAllister, uncompromising as ever. Johan Huget. The tackle from Blair Connor. 7.5 minutes. Bordeaux Begles need a score of some sort, any sort. Picamol again into the contact.
In the wrong part of the field, aren't they? This is where Toulouse can play their power game. Flood has just come on. I said, just handed a little bit of structure, and he's through.
And through goes Basie. And could this clinching for Toulouse? Yes, it can. What a response. It has been from the former champions. They lost Census Johnson. He was sent off. But there you can see the Toulouse fans and former players and coaches looking on. And that could well be it. Sébastien Basie gets the try.
Brother of Nicholas, who plays at Brive. Whether they'll be safe, I think they are now, Martin. But again, Toby Flood just taking that ball in, and it just didn't reload enough round the corner. As Gaunt was just pulled out. Connor can't get him. That's a great try. Set up by his smashing forwards, and then the fly half just holding the line, and then just the pick and go and using his pace.
Toby Flood. It is a crucial conversion. A hammer blow for Bordeaux Begles. Well, I can tell you that Bayonne have added another try against La Rochelle. It may all be in vain. We're hoping to have time to go over to those two grounds before we say goodbye. But it would appear that Bordeaux Begles are now bidding farewell to the playoffs.
Okay.
There's Lesgard, flings the ball out. Kitoon, still 5 minutes and a bit more to go. They trail by 8. They needed 2 scores. There's Touetu. They're inside of the 22. On there to Beden Puerta. Bordeaux Begles at half-time had one more man on the pitch. It seemed that his place in the playoffs was at their mercy, but now they have a penalty.
Still time, pumping into the corner, catch and drive, get the conversion, 7 back then to halfway, take the restart and come again. Plenty of time.
Boxes into the corner. Anton Echetto is getting frustrated.
Joe Takuri giving the pen away. Can they stop Bordeaux?
So Abey finds Chalmers. Yet another line-out success for Chalmers. It's Potter driving on. Almost within touching distance of the try line. Can they recycle it? What a conclusion this would set up. They're coming back for the penalty.
On sort pas.
Well, they have to get the score and get it quickly.
Yeah, the clock isn't their friend though, is there? As Boxes comes in, boom, straight away. Now they've got to reset. There's no point in really rushing this. They've got to make sure the throw is accurate. Communication paramount. Execution. Well, we'll see.
So this time it's to Bordeaux. There goes Touetu. Begles to change of direction. Bordeaux, they're in possession, Bordeaux Begles, but this Toulouse defence is driving them backwards. Let's go. Begles, Ray, Connor straight through the middle. Connor, can he get there? Yes, he can.
Wow. Wow. No real time. That's player Connor. He's been very, very quiet. Absolute live wire, normally counter-attacking, but it's been not his day until then. The 77th minute. Takes the time. That's 7 points. Now, here we go. Point to go. They're going to take the restart, as I said, and come back somehow. Keep hold of the ball. Drive hard with the forwards. We see Connor going through. Superb finish. Classy finish.
It's all still not over at the foot of the table either, because Lyon now lead Grenoble by 26 points to 24. If Lyon can beat Grenoble by more than 5 points, then both Brive and Bayonne will be safe. Here, Bordeaux Begles need another score, and that would depose Oyonnax from the top 6.
Vous aurez donné un ballon immédiatement, on aurait pu jouer. D'accord?
Poor old Bayonne, you've got to feel some sympathy for them. They can do no more. They got 7 tries against La Rochelle, 45 points to 7. Marvin O'Connor has got the score. 23-22 at the Stade Ernest Vallon. 2 minutes. Big hit, illegal. And how many times have we seen that over the course of a season from Joe Tricori?
Well, he's saying that Connor, the try scorer, just ducked into him. Possibly was a bit about that, but I don't think he wrapped his arms. Straight away now, exactly. They kicked long, they didn't compete for the restart. That enabled Bordeaux to take it, as in Connor. They've got the penalty. They go down now, they've got a good set of forwards. Here you go. It's 6 of 1 and half a dozen, but he's caught him with his swinging arm. And look where they are. Will Toulouse go up in here? Will Toulouse compete with this line-out? Medard is on. Uge off. I think it's one for the forwards now. We've just got to get a position where Boxes can have a go at goal.
Well, if Toulouse emerge victorious here, they will be playing against Oyonnax next week. Stolen, and that could well be it. A minute and a half to go. Well, if this goes too far...
Watch out!
It has done.
Oh, my goodness me! Oh, it was the correct thing to do, but the pitches have got firmer and firmer. The bounce of the ball. And the England international, May, and I say May, they want to go for the scrum. They want to go from the penalty from the scrum. He knows all about scrumming. French hooker, win me a penalty. He'll be a brave referee to give it. But if they get it right, and they get it strong, and they get it straight, he'll have no option.
And if they're looking for a drop goal, if all else fails, there's a certain Lionel Begles.
That's exactly what I said.
Standing at 10.
It doesn't matter whether it's off the ground, he can kick it. As he said, the drop goal, 3 points. Just want 1 point. Scrum time. Here we go.
The top 14 in a league of its own.
Flexion. Lié.
Jan Lesgok. 30 seconds on the clock. They've got to make it pay. They're looking for the penalty. They've got a penalty.
And they've done that all day. They've come round, they've wheeled round. You could see Ibanez saying, go for the scrum, go for the scrum, go for the scrum. We've got them there, and they have. The referee had no other option. Guy Novis can look on all he wants. This is right in front of the posts. This should be victory for Bordeaux.
Toulon lead Oyonnax by 46 points to 10. Lyon, I can tell you, are 29-24 up on Grenoble. But here, Lionel Begles, can he take Bordeaux Begles into the playoffs?
Oh. He's missed it! He's missed it! Oh my word! There was mortgages going on all over Bordeaux on that one. The poor fella, he just didn't... Did he take enough time? Doesn't matter, he's missed it.
The former Toulouse fly half, whose kicking percentages this season were better than just about everyone's, has missed the penalty from straight in front that would have taken Bordeaux Begles into the playoffs.
C'est incroyable, vous ratez la qualification à cette pénalité.
Ah ouais, ça fait... Voilà, on a fait beaucoup d'efforts, on est revenu dans le match, on menait, je pense qu'on a fait une belle partie. On aurait mérité de gagner, après on aurait peut-être dû se mettre à l'abri un peu plus tôt. Voilà, ça fait qu'on a évolué pendant pas mal de temps à 15 contre 14.
A game that Bordeaux should have won. Toulouse were down to 13, 14 men for 30 minutes into the game. Bernard missed a raft of kicks, so they should have been ahead. Boxy's being consoled by his old mates. Teammates, that is, from Toulouse. That's the kick. Oh dear, dear, dear. And that's another reaction. It's so close, so far, so many games, so many penalties kicked throughout the season. It comes down to that one, and he's missed the sitter. Absolute sitter by his standards, by anyone's standards.